Good evening. We begin tonight at 6 with breaking news. 3 people are hurt after a shooting on Indy's east side.
This happened less than 2 hours ago near Community Hospital East, and that's where we find our Logan Gay joining us live tonight. Logan, you've been on the scene since shortly after we got call of this incident. What have you learned?
Well, and we've learned a lot. Right now we know that they believe that this shooting is an isolated incident and that it happened between people who knew each other. Now I'm going to step aside so you can have a live look at what the scene looks like now. You can see that the crime scene unit is here and they're still focused on that house on the corner. What we also know is that while officers were on their way here to respond to a call about a person shot, they got a separate call that a man and a woman walked in Community East Hospital, which is just steps away from here. And they also found out that those people had gunshot wounds. They are in critical condition. When police got here to this location, they found another person that was shot, and they are stable. Police believe the shooting happened in the street and may have led up to the home. They also believe that this is an isolated incident, like I said, between people who knew each other, and they do have a person of interest in custody, but have not made an arrest. So this is still in the very early stages of the investigation. As you can see right now, they are still canvassing the area, talking with neighbors and possible witnesses about what they saw and what they heard. We did speak with one homeowner earlier. She actually owns that home here on the corner. She said her husband is one of the victims, and she says she's here right now because she actually doesn't know where to go. She showed up and she didn't know what happened, and she's still trying to learn more information. We actually have an interview with her. I'm going to walk back here on camera, and I'm going to share that with you about what she says, what she does know, and what she doesn't know, and what she says happened at her home. She did mention that she had some grandchildren inside the home at the time, and they are all okay. But a very scary situation here on the street. But like I said, 3 people injured. 2 of them are in critical condition. 1 of them is stable. We're hoping to learn more information about what led up to this shooting. And once we do, we will get that to you as soon as possible. Back
All right,
to you,
Logan Gay reporting for us live tonight from the east side. Thank you. Also tonight, our other big story, the forecast is in for Indiana, and it's not exactly a sunny one. We're talking about the state's revenue forecast for the next 2 years.
It was late this afternoon that lawmakers were told to expect higher inflation, lower growth, and unemployment. Our 13 News State House reporter Emily Longnecker is here with some of the other bad news that lawmakers got today. And this really is all kind of adding up to make for a pretty busy final week of their session, Emily.
How about it? And yeah, lawmakers on the State Budget Committee learned today that the state will bring in $2 billion less in revenue over the next 2 years than was originally projected in December. So that means that lawmakers have to find $2 billion in cuts to that proposed budget that they've been working on, or they have to find a way to raise $2 billion more in revenue, or both. Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle said they're looking at everything. The biggest drop in revenue coming in comes from a loss of about $500 million in income taxes in each of the next 2 years. Sales taxes and corporate income taxes are also expected to be down significantly as economic growth slows. An economist told lawmakers today that the economy is expected to grow very slowly and approach recession levels. He blamed the slowdown on the end of the Biden-era Inflation Reduction Act, high interest rates, and the impact of President Donald Trump's new tariffs, explaining that those tariffs would keep inflation high until at least 2027. So what does that mean for the proposed budget lawmakers have been working on all session? It means it's back to the drawing board.
Everything's on the table. I mean, we're going to have to make tough decisions. Can I make some cuts? If anybody has the audacity to come and ask us for more money, more than likely just take them out. So we just have a lot of tough decisions to make, and we just have to be disciplined.
Are we talking about revenue generators too?
Everything is on the table.
Again, I think this is a time that we seek collaboration. I think there are certain fundamental things that are and they're going across the United States right now. Indiana is subject to some of those. But if we all have collaboration, it is not the picture is not as bad as it seems or it could be. That picture can be better if we begin to collaborate in meaningful action.
15 minutes.
So what could some of those collaborations look like? Well, Senator Ryan Mishler, he's the architect of the Senate's budget proposal. He said repeatedly that nothing is off the table. Now, interestingly enough, earlier this week, Democrats in the Senate were offering a whole bunch of amendments on ways to bring in more money to the state, and they proposed several amendments that would have raised taxes on cigarettes, alcohol, and gaming. All of those amendments earlier this week were voted down by Republicans. What about education? You know, Democrats have long been critical of expanding school vouchers, but we know in the House's budget proposal, there is an expansion to universal vouchers. So could that be revisited? Well, Senator Mishler said that education is the last thing that they want to really look at touching. What about spending on Medicaid? Republicans have said that Medicaid growth needs to be reined in, and they've been working on that all session with another bill trying to address that. And Senator Mishler saying that cuts to the budget in Medicaid right now are pretty tough because, you know, that's an entitlement program. So all of that to say, a lot to look at, and expect Governor Braun obviously to be part of this discussion. He issued a statement about the revenue forecast earlier today that said the final budget will respect today's revenue forecast and protect Hoosier taxpayers from worst case scenarios. So expect some long days trying to figure this all out in these final days of the session. Ann, Dustin?
Yeah, that is a big financial gap, though, to make up. Emily, it's just kind of overwhelming. All right, I know you'll stay on top of it for us. Thanks so much. Reporting live from the State House tonight. Let's talk a little bit about the weather. Oh, we are so close to 60.
At least we had the sun out, too.
We did. It was a nice combination today. Sunshine and 55 to 60 degrees. We're at 55 Morris Reservoir, 59 Noblesville, hanging tough at 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis as well. Upper 50s, low 60s through sunset, not nearly as cold tonight. We were in the 30s this morning. 40s tomorrow morning, so grab the sweatshirt and throw the umbrella in as well. A few showers after lunchtime tomorrow with highs in the mid-60s. You can see the dry start here with Future Track 13. By noon, the showers into the southwestern part of the state. For the rest of us, a light rain chance between 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. tomorrow.
Angela, thank you. A man who admitted to killing 2 people here in Indy back in 2023 will spend the next 22 years in prison.
His name is Martise McGee, and he pled guilty to voluntary manslaughter today instead of murder. Our Marina Silver was in the courtroom today as he learned his fate.
It was a packed courtroom to hear Martise McGee receive his sentence, a sentence the judge says is fair considering he admits to killing 2 people.
The courtroom was filled with mainly supporters for McGee, many of whom couldn't help but cry when the sentencing was read. The shooting happened at a Shell gas station in April 2023. In court security video, it shows the moments leading up to and the time when the shooting happened. McGee was just 20 years old at the time of the shooting.
It was a life-changing event that changed not only the lives of y'all families, but mine. There's nothing in this world I wouldn't do to get the chance to go back and change what happened that day.
Celestine Ray is the mom to both victims. She doesn't believe Ray when he says he's sorry.
He can tell me he's sorry for sorry ain't gonna bring my sons back. So he ain't. His apology to me is just to get a plea.
The mom to the brothers say she'll never stop fighting to keep her son's name alive. Reporting in Indianapolis, Marina Silva, 13 News.
Also tonight, 2 teenagers are under arrest for a deadly shooting on the north side.
This happened back on January 15th along East 49th Street near North Arlington. Police arrested 18-year-old Brian Winston Jr. and 19-year-old Alexis Hawkins in connection to the murder.
They say Hawkins was arrested in Indianapolis. Winston was taken into custody down in Austin, Texas. Both are charged with murder and robbery resulting in serious bodily injury. Indiana State Police say they've solved a decades-old cold case.
And now they say the killer is dead. Phyllis Baylor died in 1972 after she disappeared while driving to her parents' home in Bluffton, and she was driving there with her 3-year-old daughter. Police, however, say she never made it and was found murdered in Allen County.
Police say more advanced DNA testing helped them build a stronger profile, which brought more evidence to light. And using that technology, state police identified Fred Linneman as the killer.
Police say he was killed in Detroit, Michigan back in 1985. But the Allen County Prosecutor's Office says he would have been charged with murder, where he's still alive today. 6:08 and still ahead tonight as communities work to recover from some of the severe storms we had earlier this month. There's now a state leader that's issuing a new warning tonight.
And Battle of the Badges, the competition between Hendricks County first responders, all aiming to get more of us to donate blood. Angela?
Dust and sunshine today, but the weather pattern goes from sunshine to soggy and stormy. I'll have your forecast.